Hey guys, in this video we'll be checking out how to debug jobs with the usage of CLI tooling. So let's talk about CLI tooling first. CLI tooling makes it really easy to create and manage Semaphore projects resources from the terminal directly. It also allows us to create, edit, delete resources, debug jobs, and a lot of other features as well. Now, job debugging allows us to inspect logs, processes, and directories in our pipelines. It also allows us to access running jobs, restart them in debug mode, and use on-demand virtual machines. We can also seamlessly troubleshoot and debug our pipelines by accessing them directly. So let's check out what we are going to be doing. So first, we'll install the CLI tooling. Then we'll restart the job in debug mode and set up port forwarding. And lastly, we will inspect the state of our running job. So let's get started with the first one now. We are located on Semaphore's SEM CLI reference documentation page. And what we need to do is head out into the download and install section. We are going to copy this command over here. And now we are just going to paste it in our terminal window. So once we click enter, it's just going to install itself. You just need to enter your password and that will basically be it. So if we want to check if the tool has installed itself, you just need to enter the SEM command and press enter. Now you can see that I've gotten a list of commands that I can execute. So the CLI tooling was basically successfully installed. Once we have the CLI tool up and running, we need to connect our organization to it. Now, in order to do that, we can go to any executed workflow so far. So for instance, I can go to my last executed workflow over here, and you can click on the CLI section over here. And you can expand this part here, how to install SEM CLI and connect. And this second part over here is the command that you need to copy and execute in your terminal in order to connect to your organization. So let's go to our terminal window, paste this command in, and you can see that I've been now successfully connected to my organization and I can execute commands on it. Once your organization is connected, just make sure that you safely store your access token. So this token over here that we've used to connect our organization. Now make sure you clear this token so that nobody else can actually use it on your behalf. Okay, now that we've installed our CLI tooling, let's proceed to the next step and restart a job in debug mode and set up port forwarding. Okay, so let's go to our last executed workflow. So the thing is, we want to debug a job. So let's click on the unit test job over here in our visual workflow builder and make sure that you also have a terminal window open or at least two terminal windows open like me. Now, if you want to start debugging a job, we can click on SSH debug over here and we will get this command that we can execute. So let's copy it and now let's go here and paste it. And what's going to happen is a debug session is going to be prepared for us. And right here, what we can actually do is let's, for instance, list everything that's available over here. And you can see that we have a commands.sh file over here. Now let's kind of open it in our visual editor. And you can see that these are basically the commands that get executed in our job. Now, what we can do is we can execute these commands one by one and basically debug our job. So if anything goes wrong, we can basically execute these commands one by one and see if anything is wrong. Now, the second thing that we can also actually do is do port forwarding. So for instance, if any of our jobs is using like Cypress, so Cypress that executes a browser window, and then it basically shows you what's going on, you can basically activate port forwarding so that you can see locally what's going on in your job. Now let's set up port forwarding. Let's rerun our job again. So let's click on the rerun button. And then the workflow will get re-triggered. And once the unit tests are available, we will click on them to get our job ID and the commands that we need to execute in order to set up port forwarding. So when we are here, we can just click on CLI and copy the forward port command into our terminal window. And what actually happens is the job gets forwarded to a local port and you can actually see what's going on. And if you're running Cypress tests, for instance, you can open up a browser window and check out what's actually happening. Now you can see that in this case, the port 8000 gets forwarded to 8080, but you can use any setup you want. And this is how you set up port forwarding on a running job. Okay, we've managed to restart our job in debug mode and we've set up port forwarding. Now let's inspect the state of the running job. Now let's attach to a running job. This basically means getting SSH access to a job that is in progress. Now let's rerun this thing so that the workflow gets re-triggered again. And once the unit test job is available, we can click on it and get the job ID and the list of commands that we need. So let's click on unit tests, and here you'll be able to see the SSH attach tab. And you can copy this command, paste it inside your terminal window, and you will have an SSH session that's connected to your running job. And now you can see what's going on with your job, execute commands, and also debug what's going on. After the job is finished, you basically need to break your connection in order to restart the connection. And this is how you establish an actively running SSH session when you already have a job running. You can see that Semaphore CLI tooling makes it really easy for you to debug the jobs that you are running. Make sure to also read the documentation about the CLI tooling, about the other features that the tooling offers. This was it for debugging jobs. If you like this video, don't forget to click on the like button and also subscribe to our channel. Also feel free to leave any comments down below.